Dr. Alan Grant, Character Profile. Basic information. Full name, Dr. Alan Grant. Profession, paleontologist. Specialization, velociraptor behavioral patterns and fossilized remains. Age, mid-40s to early 50s, varies by film. Portrayed by Sam Neill. Physical description. Alan Grant is a rugged, weathered man with the physique of someone who spends considerable time in the field. He has graying hair, often unkempt from outdoor excavations, and typically sports a few days' worth of stubble. His hands are calloused from years of careful fossil extraction, and he carries himself with the confident posture of an experienced outdoorsman. Grant favors practical field clothing, khaki shirts, cargo pants, work boots, and his signature wide-brimmed hat that shields him from the sun during digs. Personality traits. Core characteristics. Grant embodies the archetype of a dedicated scientist who values empirical evidence over speculation. He approaches problems methodically, drawing on his extensive knowledge of prehistoric life and animal behavior. His personality is marked by dry wit, intellectual curiosity, and a pragmatic worldview shaped by years of studying extinct creatures. Behavioral patterns. Cautious by nature. Grant's scientific training makes him naturally skeptical and careful, traits that serve him well when confronting living dinosaurs. Protective instincts. Despite his initial discomfort around children, he demonstrates fierce protective instincts when thrust into dangerous situations. Problem solver. He approaches crises analytically, using his knowledge of dinosaur behavior to navigate threats. Dry humor. Grant often uses sardonic observations to cope with stress and absurd situations. Professional background. Academic career. As a respected paleontologist, Grant has dedicated his career to understanding dinosaur behavior through fossil evidence. His work focuses particularly on pack hunting patterns of velociraptors, making him uniquely qualified to understand their intelligence and coordination. He conducts field excavations, publishes research papers, and likely teaches at the university level, though his passion clearly lies in fieldwork rather than classroom instruction. Research philosophy. Grant represents traditional paleontology, believing that dinosaurs should be studied through their fossilized remains rather than genetic manipulation. He views the resurrection of extinct species as fundamentally unnatural and dangerous, preferring to understand these creatures through the lens of deep time and evolutionary context. Character development arc. Initial state. In the first film, Grant is portrayed as a man comfortable in his element, dusty excavation sites, and academic circles. He's somewhat awkward around children and skeptical of corporate ventures, preferring the quiet pursuit of scientific knowledge to publicity or profit. Transformation through crisis. The events of Jurassic Park fundamentally alter Grant's perspective. Confronted with living dinosaurs, he must adapt his theoretical knowledge to practical survival. His relationship with Tim and Lex Murphy catalyzes his paternal instincts, revealing a capacity for nurturing and protection that he didn't know he possessed. Evolved perspective. By the series' progression, Grant has become more worldly and cautious about genetic manipulation, yet retains his fundamental love for dinosaurs. He's learned to balance his scientific fascination with healthy respect for these creatures' power and unpredictability. Relationships. With children, Grant's evolution from child-diverse academic to protective guardian represents one of his most significant character developments. Initially uncomfortable around Tim and Lex, he learns to communicate with them on their level while keeping them safe. This relationship reveals his capacity for patience, creativity in problem-solving, and genuine care. Professional relationships. His partnership with Dr. Ellie Sattler demonstrates his ability to work collaboratively with equals. Their relationship, whether romantic or professional depending on the film, shows Grant's respect for competent colleagues and his willingness to rely on others' expertise. With authority figures, Grant maintains a healthy skepticism toward corporate interests and authority figures like John Hammond. He's not easily impressed by wealth or technology, preferring to judge people by their actions and integrity rather than their status. Skills and expertise. Scientific knowledge. Grant possesses encyclopedic knowledge of dinosaur species, their behaviors, habitats, and evolutionary relationships. He can identify species from fragmentary evidence and predict behavioral patterns based on anatomical features and fossil evidence. Practical abilities. His fieldwork experience has given him outdoor survival skills, including navigation, basic first aid, and the ability to remain calm under pressure. He's physically capable of demanding tasks like climbing, running, and manual labor. Observational skills. Years of careful fossil excavation have honed Grant's ability to notice subtle details and patterns. He can read animal behavior, assess environmental dangers, and make quick decisions based on limited information. Philosophical outlook. On science and ethics, Grant represents the ethical scientist who believes in the responsible pursuit of knowledge. He's deeply troubled by the commercialization of scientific discovery and the hubris of playing God with genetic manipulation. His experiences reinforce his belief that some knowledge carries too great a risk to pursue. On nature and humanity, he maintains a profound respect for the natural world and the processes of evolution. Grant understands that humans are relative newcomers to Earth's timeline, and that resurrecting extinct species disrupts millions of years of evolutionary balance. Internal conflicts. Fascination versus fear. Grant struggles with the tension between his lifelong fascination with dinosaurs and the terror of encountering them as living predators. This internal conflict drives much of his character development throughout the series. Scientific curiosity versus practical caution. His desire to study and understand these creatures conflicts with his recognition of their danger. This tension manifests in moments where he's tempted to observe behavior even when it might compromise safety. Legacy and impact. Dr. Alan Grant serves as the moral center of the Jurassic Park franchise, representing both the wonder of scientific discovery and the importance of ethical boundaries. His character arc from academic theorist to experienced survivor reflects themes of adaptation, responsibility, and the complex relationship between humanity and nature. Through Grant, the series explores questions about scientific ethics, the consequences of unchecked ambition, and the resilience of both individuals and species in the face of extraordinary circumstances. His enduring appeal lies in his relatability. He's neither superhuman nor infallible, but rather an ordinary person who rises to extraordinary challenges through intelligence, courage, and fundamental decency. Grant embodies the idea that true expertise comes not just from academic knowledge, but from the wisdom to know when and how to apply that knowledge responsibly.